17 men's shirts last month, which is pretty good.
Yeah.
That's the special.
That's that buy one, get one. People love BOGO.
Yeah.
I'm learning that.
How many women's shirts did you sell?
We sold 46 women's shirts.
Good for you.
Okay.
Yeah, so. And we sold 78 hats.
Nice.
So that's pretty good. We're having a pretty good month, a couple months of merchandising. We had a Black Friday sale. We'll have some more sales as Christmas approaches. So if you got last minute shopping to do, come in and see us.
I was thinking, Jeff, you need to maybe email blast that Christmas ornament out.
Oh yeah,
Good idea.
it's a good idea.
Because
We do have a Stony Brook Christmas ornament if you want it for your tree.
it's pretty cool.
It's a snowman, it's got Stony Brook on it. $10, come in and get one at the pro shop.
The only comment I got from someone was, you should have had a palm tree in the background.
That'll be next year's tree.
Yeah, next year
Next year's ornament.
Next year we'll get a palm tree.
Yeah. We should do a different ornament every year. Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay. Chuck?
Yes, item 4 is your budget amendment for fiscal year 2020. I think we had some discussion at last month's meeting that did not appear that we were utilizing the version that had everybody thought we had adopted. So to clean that up, and I think there were some cleanups primarily in the golf course section, and there was, in terms of appropriations, but also in how a couple of things were being shown. And I think Jeff Pinder and Mr. Harlan get on the same page with how to properly show those. So this budget would clean those things up for you. And it is in order and recommended for your approval.
Okay. Can I have a motion?
I'll make a motion that we accept this.
A second.
All in favor? Opposed? Oh,
So
Okay, sorry.
First, may not be up to date on this. So what happened was that we went through 6 versions of the budget. And at the last minute, we said, okay, that's enough. And we put in a negative expense on the golf course and on the pro shop guys. And talking to Jeff Pinder, according to generally accepted accounting principles, FASB, the auditors, we couldn't do that because there were no offsets coming from income someplace else.
Okay.
So I had to take that and spread that negative number through Jeff's and John's budget.
Okay.
It's a 3-point-some% difference reduction.
Okay.
And I did that. Jeff's happy with that. I'm happy with that. The only problem I saw was that the headings on the detail month by month was that we've got 2018, 2019 instead of 2000.
We'll get deeper into it.
Oh, the headings.
These headings.
Yeah, right here.
That's the only correction that needs to be made.
Mr. Pinder will make those adjustments and we'll call it final.
Otherwise, the budget has not changed by $1 or $2 due to rounding.
Okay.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, it passes. Thank you. I'll sign that when we're done. Okay. The unaudited financial statements, these are from October. We don't have November's because the early meeting. I think that
Not much happened in October other than on page 5, we paid an interest payment to our 2014 series bond. So there's sufficient funds in there for that. On page 7, on the irrigation fund, they loaned the golf course $100,000 to help with cash flow. So, and then when we got, it's not on here yet, but just recently we transferred another $50,000 into golf course.
57.
Another 57?
57,000, excuse me. And where is it? I guess the reserve shows up on page 9, series 2019. That must be for the bunker renovation. Chip Pinder's probably putting money away now for the the payments.
For the payments for that. And I think the biggest thing on the consolidated is that the full 26162 was put in the actual expense, and Jeff's going to capitalize that.
Yeah, he hasn't gotten back to me, but that was my recommendation, that we capitalize those bunker renovations.
So that will put us in a better bottom line. And Jeff, the air conditioner was put in, and he's capitalizing that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. This is a couple months old, so I don't think there was anything. I have a motion to accept the unaudited financials.
Second? Or I guess I'll make the motion. Sorry.
Okay, thank you.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. We did that. Okay. The minutes. Chuck, I did send you the minutes from the workshop. I know that you didn't get them in time to do this. Will be in the next meeting.
Yep, I'll pass those on to staff.
Okay, thank you. Okay, on the first page,
Rich, how do you spell your last name? I think it's misspelled in here.
Bongiorno.
Right, okay, thanks. That's what I thought it was.
Yeah.
And it's through here several times.
Good day.
yes. On line 34, Ms. Macklin, a resident, asked whether the additional plantings could be installed around the water pipes. I think she wanted them in her backyard, similar to the plantings by the water pipes. She was looking for that? Okay. John and I looked at the property, and we need to contact the resident. If Night and Run wants to put some plantings on their property for her, but we're not going to be in the business of redoing all our preserve area for anybody in the community that thinks we should put additional plantings there. So we can contact the Night and Run board and just let them know that if they're interested in doing it on their property, that they can put plantings. Okay, so that was the reason for that, okay. And we've got the Stony Brook's, or the CDD email in there, which is what we need. Anything on page 2? Page 3? This is a pretty short meeting.
Rich's name shows up 3 times.
Yeah, so anywhere in there where Bongiorno is incorrect. Okay. Chris, I know we had told the community that they could send any questions about the village and the preserve to the CD. Did you get any emails? No, okay.
Not about that.
Not about that, but we have some other stuff, I'm sure. Okay. Page 5.
I just need to insert on line 149, Mr. Rupnik would have
Yes.
the bonuses.
Okay. Can I have a motion to,
Make a motion to accept the minutes as amended.
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Dan, I'm glad you're here. Good to see you. Any comments? Not today, okay. Okay, very good, thank you. And you're going to, I know there was something we asked you earlier to check on, so. I said, I know there was something earlier we asked you that you were going to continue to look at. I forget.
Well, it was credits, whether or not.
Oh, the credits,
I think
whether-
it's been answered, basically.
Yeah, I think that was doing credits. Okay, engineering we don't have. Chuck?
I have nothing additional for you on that. Wish
Okay.
you all happy holidays.
Thank you very much, and same to you. Enjoy Cabo. Board members? Chris?
The only thing I'm going to say is I'm assuming that we will, for January, put on the agenda to circle back and talk about what was discussed this morning.
We'll continue to carry it. If there's nothing to discuss, we'll just keep
Bypass
carrying
it.
I mean,
Right.
So we'll keep it on our radar.
Okay.
Because as a board, I think we have to come to a decision, and probably sooner than later, at least the decision to say, okay, Dan, move forward and start negotiating this deal.
Right.
Now, is that something we want to do today, or do we want to push it to January?
I think we need to digest a lot of this stuff and think about it, and, the HOA is having their meeting tonight, see what they come in, and maybe we need to do another workshop just to see where they're coming from. But I don't think at this point we should start anything. There's not an urgency to do it today, and I think we still
Agreed,
need to...
there's not an urgency, but it's also something we just need to, we have information.
Right.
And if we're going to do it, we need to come to a head, either say yea or nay, and at least get it started.
Right. So, we'll
So
bring
we
that
wanna
up
do it in January.
in January.
So can we put that on? I don't know if anybody noticed, but there was a lot, I mean, the high user, or the user numbers were,
Some of them were really high.
I mean, I don't know if you saw it, John, I know, but it just seems to me that we had a lot of really high, and then just a huge drop off.
Right.
It just seemed like a interesting, I mean, there's residents here with almost, what, $200?
Yeah.
$400, or no, that's not residents.
200, yeah, a couple,
$200.
175, 141, yeah, there's some high ones.
I haven't seen any, there hasn't been any, anybody emailing saying, hey, what's going on with my meters? But on the flip side, there's a lot of really low ones, considering it's pretty dry right now. You should be using your sprinklers.
Well, yeah, my best guess is, even the low ones, like I said, we just finished up last week.
Well, yeah, you said that.
From the meter, so that's gonna drop this number down.
Right.
The high end, I can see people turning stuff on because we are dry, but, like you said, some of these numbers are
They're pretty high.
pretty high. I haven't, Tammy hasn't received anything.
You haven't received anything?
Not a single word.
Okay. All right.
I've noticed a lot of pool construction, seems to be right now. I've probably 3 or 4 pools that I noticed going in. I don't know, sometimes, they break something, but yeah, that's definitely abnormal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but if they're breaking pipes.
Currently, then obviously, it takes us maybe 30 days, 60 days to get them all tied up, and then by that time, I'm sure some, but yeah, for the most part, we're down.
I can tell you personally, my bill was almost 3 times what I normally, and I haven't done anything different, and I checked, I don't have any leaks, so I don't know if maybe it was a misread, or maybe we had an extra week in there or something.
All right, then let me comment on that, because I got the same complaint from 2 of the Pinecrests on Lancaster.
Yeah.
And then I talked to Peter Austin on Knighton. Same thing, they had, and I just met with him, Tammy, and Pinnacle here in the office last week.
Yeah.
They even have come to find out 2 meters that aren't even working. We're in the process right now of taking the tops off, cleaning them out, trying to get those working again. If not, we've got to order 2 new meters. And these meters are a little bit different than the homeowners. With that being said, I emailed Chuck. I said, Chuck, did something happen, a rate change? Chuck emailed back saying no, and obviously if one was to happen, we'd have to have a board vote on it.
Right.
I couldn't explain it. Now, Knighton did add some landscaping, so they're, in a couple of those months, I think it was November, or October, November. And obviously, if you go over a certain amount that you're allocated, you start paying a much higher rate.
Right.
I think it triples almost once you hit past your ERC, your allocated ERC. But right, I don't know now, you being the 3rd person, I haven't had a resident say that their bill's been that, other than you, until now, right, until now. But I've had two of the associations on, Pinecrest, it was 1 and 4, and then Knighton. No leaks on Knighton. I even checked to make sure we did have a leak on Knighton, but it wasn't tied into their meters. It was before the meters, totally irrelevant to the process.
But could it have been the number of days that it added an extra week?
Yeah.
Maybe it was 3 weeks, an extra week? It's not done on a 30-day basis, it's done from...
We looked at that. Not for Knighton. Knighton's was consistent month to month, how much higher it went up. Theirs went up substantially. Lancaster's, I didn't quite understand because Valerie Nolan with Icon, she contacted me and said, and she said that both bills were the exact same. And I wasn't sure, so I called Anna Vivian over on the other coast for the billing department and asked her how it's billed. There's a master meter, all 4 associations are billed the exact same, divided by 4, so that number should have been the same. So I was surprised that she said that, because she's been there a long time, so, I mean, if she's paying those bills, she would know that they should be exactly the same every month. So I'm a little confused about that, but I got back to her, they seem to be okay with it. The Knighton thing, yeah, their bill went up, but now it's really gonna go up because we found 2 meters that weren't working.
Okay.
But yeah, up until Mr. Brady said something, I haven't had anybody, not a single email.
Yeah, I haven't seen anybody, but I mean, I can just say, usually mine hovers around $8 to $9, and I think it was $18, $19 last month, but I don't have any, I couldn't find anything wrong, so I don't know.
Okay, Dan, I have one thing for you. In doing all this research, looking at the, the preserve and all this, and digging through different things, back in '09, I think it was it '02, that property out on Corkscrew, we gave back to U.S. Homes for $100. And in the interim, they gave us property in Stony Brook that they owned. Okay, that's what I'm hearing. And in doing that, I was looking through the parcels. There are still quite a few parcels in this community that are still owned by U.S. Home. Part of Lancaster, the south end of Wyndham, the whole area behind Wyndham.
There was a deed to CDD from U.S. Home towards the end of their tenure here.
Okay.
Cleaned all that up, and I don't know how it did not get indexed to property values.
Okay.
The property appraisals.
I didn't get through all of them because I've been going through that. That's a group of the parcels that are still listed as U.S. Homes as owner. And one of them is the south end of Wyndham, the whole back area of Wyndham, part of Lancaster, something by Weymouth.
Maxfield over here on
Braxfield. I mean, there's quite a few, because I was, going through each one of these little parcels, because you have to click on it and look at. Those were just, and I was getting a little bleary-eyed looking at them yesterday afternoon and last night. But those are some of the areas. So can you see why U.S. Homes is still, I mean, that's 10 years.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they do not own these properties.
Okay, I hope not.
Well, that was part of that land swap,
Right.
or we were talking
That's
about.
what we were talking about, but,
If it is, I'm sure we wouldn't have any problem getting Darren to sign a deed for us.
okay, and then have that changed, because at this point, if they're still owner of record, get them here to clean it up and do what they have to do with it. That's right. So if you could look at that and let us know where we stand with that. Do we have anything else? Okay. Can I have a motion to adjourn?
Make a motion, we close the meeting?
Second.
All in favor? I hope everyone has a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Happy Hanukkah.
Happy Hanukkah. Happy holidays. Yes, happy.